Hi, everybody. I know you're not used to seeing me on screen. I'm Lyn Bowling. You see me behind the scenes for everything. I don't like to be on the camera very much. I let Andrea do that part. But my story with Andrea started with the death of my mother. And I knew I would be there for her, and I would do anything that she needed with the passing of her mother. So here I am. Please bear with me. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. We're going to talk about near-death experiences tonight. And that might be, at first I got really concerned, is this tone deaf, knowing where Andrea's mother has just passed? But I talked with Jeff Turner, and I want to read a little bit of what he said to me. He said that he understood why I would be concerned, but he felt that it was 100% appropriate. And at the end of the day, it is truly representative of who Andrea is. And knowing her mother still is with us, just in another form, is one reason that she can bear this. So I experienced Jeff's near-death experience personally, but a lot of things come out of those experiences, and I want to give some comfort, maybe, to see what people who have experienced it, how they feel now after having gone through it, and how it's changed their lives, maybe their spirituality. So Jeff is going to tell his story, but first we're going to bring on Beth Wojiski, who's a really good friend of the show.
Hello.
Hello, Beth. And we're going to talk with Beth about her story of a near-death experience. And if you just want to introduce yourself, give a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Yeah. So I live in North Carolina. I met Andrea back in, I want to say 2012 or 13 or something like that, like a long time ago, when she published the first book. And I had a near-death experience in 2006 from a medical misdiagnosis and a complete travesty that happened after that. But we can get into that later if we want to. But it really caused me to reevaluate my life and how I was viewing my life, how I was viewing me, how I was viewing the world around me. And it caused me to want to actually go for things, go for goals, have goals, do things. And so in 2018, after a lot of study and hard work, I launched my own business as an editor, which was a huge leap for me because I was so afraid of that before. I always think of things of before and after, so you may hear me use that terminology. So I launched my own business. I work with writers in the paranormal, cryptid, and the mind-body-spirit space. And I'm also a certified intuitive master practitioner, and I am a faculty member at the Intuition Lab. And it's just been such a fulfilling life since then, and I'm so grateful that I've had that second chance.
I know, and we're grateful you got it too, because we really
wouldn't have known each other.
I know. We've had so much fun, and
yeah,
and more fun to come. More fun to come.
Definitely.
Definitely. So, tell us a bit about what happened.
Sure. In 2006, I had a slip and fall on some black ice, and I knew just intuitively, and also just from the pain, that I had broken an ankle. And I went to the ER, and it was a busy day. A lot of people were having accidents on ice that day. And they were rushed, and they just said, "Oh, we see evidence of a prior fracture, but nothing current." And they wrapped me up in an ace bandage, and they told me to put my leg up to stay off my feet for several days. But what nobody told me was that when you do that, you run the risk of developing a blood clot. And so I developed blood clots. Jeff's going to know this. Yeah. I developed blood clots in my right leg, the same leg that I had fractured. And it took several weeks to get the fracture properly diagnosed. But the weird part was that it took several weeks to get the blood clot diagnosed. Nobody would believe me. Nobody would listen to me. I had to fight every ounce of the way to just get anybody to take me seriously. I literally once had a doctor tell me, "Oh, you're a woman. Women swell." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, but my right leg is a balloon, and that really shouldn't be that way."
No.
So, yeah, that was not a fun time.
So tired of that being brushed off as a woman.
Being brushed off, yeah. And the interesting thing about my experience is that the entire way, it was like there was this voice guiding me on what to do. And I personally believe that that was an angel. I mean, and people can have different beliefs. You can believe in guides or, ancestors or family or whoever are helping you, but that felt very much angelic to me. And I just kept being told what to do, what to say. And one morning I woke up, after being sent home, they found the blood clot, but they sent me home, and that's not a standard protocol. As Jeff probably knows, you actually are immediately admitted if you have a blood clot, but I was not. And I woke up the next day unable to breathe. And my then husband drove me to the ER. We really should have called 911, right? But we weren't thinking clearly. We were very stressed out.
Yeah.
And the whole time, I'm on crutches because I have a broken leg, right? And so I'm crutching around. And they're making me, crutch over here to sign this paper and crutch over there to get this test done. And the whole time I can't breathe. And it just got to be too much to me. And I essentially suffocated. And then I went somewhere else, which we can talk about that. I don't know if you want to do medical first and somewhere else later or what, but.
I'm really interested in where you went.
Okay.
And how you felt after you came back.
Oh, that's complicated.
I know it's really complicated.
Yeah,
but
it is very complicated
if
issue.
you could give us kind of a feel of
sure,
what you experienced.
So when I suffocated, it was very painful.
Okay.
The first sensation that I had after, I lost consciousness, and then I wasn't there anymore. I was floating is the best way to put it. Mm-hmm. And I was in sort of darkness for a little bit, but then I ended up going through what looks like space. So it was kind of like stars and nebula and stuff like that. It was like I was floating through space, and the sensation was blissful. It was utter bliss. It was like my whole, I can't say body because my body wasn't there anymore, but my whole being was just overwhelmed with a feeling of bliss and that I was okay. And
so the suffocating pain
to just flooded with bliss. That.
Okay.
Yeah. And release and relief. And I'm expressing things in very human terms. It is impossible, I think, to express them in truly spiritual terms, like what your spirit, right. your true spirit is going through. Because I feel like we really are souls in a human body. We're not right. bodies with a soul. So it's hard for me to express this, but I try my best because we all have human brains and human vocal cords. And, mm-hmm. This is how we communicate here. But when you're there, that communication operates on a different level. And so I also felt a complete sensation of love. I knew I was loved. And I didn't have that voice with me anymore while I was there. Yeah. Not for a while. And it was just it was a knowingness of love, a knowingness of relief and bliss. And after I went through, and I don't know how much time passed on Earth, but it felt like a very long time there, I kind of went through like a portal. And when I got there through this portal, I heard music. And it was very beautiful, bright light. And I was in a meadow. It was like a meadow, with trees and flowers and a little babbling brook by me. And I was just sitting under a tree, enjoying it. And in the distance, I could see buildings and people, but they were distant. And I realized, again, it was a knowingness that I couldn't go over there with them yet. So I was just hanging tight in this meadow, feeling all of the love and the bliss of the universe and of God. I'll use terminology like God, and of course everybody's experience is their own. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's God, and then eventually I heard the voice again, and it said, "It's not your time. It's not your time. And so, but I was told to just kind of rest, just take a rest, just chill out. I mean, they didn't use the terms chill out, but I was basically just chilling out. And the way that I see it now is I was just given a grand gift of an opportunity to avoid all of the stress, whatever my body was undergoing while they saved my life. I didn't have to be there for that. I checked out and I was given a break. And I knew that I was loved. And that is key, because when I was younger, prior to that event, I had a very unhappy, I would say, young adulthood, a very unhappy young adulthood. And there was a period of transition when I came back that it took me a long time to kind of explore what all of that meant. And, and again, I don't want to go on farther than you want to go yet, but, there definitely was a period of transition. And I will say this, and Jeff, I don't know how it was for you, but when I came back, I was kind of ticked. I did not want to be here in some ways. The thing that really I needed to know as a human and as a soul, I needed to know that my parents and I would be together again. And the last thing I remember before I lost consciousness, before I suffocated, was my then husband saying, I got a hold of your parents, they're on their way. They had to fly in from Texas to Virginia. Okay. And that was such a relief to me to know that before I went. And the pull for me to come back was to be with them again. Like, we are a trio. We're like the Three Musketeers.
Yeah, you guys are very close.
We're very close. And I understood then that the unconditional love that my parents have always shown me is the same as the unconditional love that God and the other side also had for me. So I'm going to get all like...
I know, we're going to cry.
It's good stuff. It's good crying,
It's a good cry, because so many people are so scared of death. Me being one of them. But this gives me some hope in hearing experiences, and hopefully other people hearing them, it will give them some hope also.
I'm not afraid of death anymore.
Yeah.
No.
And I try to talk to people. Yeah, you do know, Jeff. I mean, I try to talk to people when they tell me they're afraid of death.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't have to be afraid.
Definitely changed me on that perspective of death. Not afraid of it. So
yeah,
that's,
and now, I mean, life is better than it was before.
Yes.
Versus now. It's not like I want to go, I'm not hurrying it along or anything. Right. I'm enjoying every moment, and I'm having experiences that I never imagined I could have. Like this.
Yeah, exactly. We're doing, this is all of our, we're all newbies to this. We're all newbies. So, hang tight with us, guys. I promise it will be okay. So much of what you just said, I've heard from this one. I mean, so is it helping you to carry on then? You really want to be working within the paranormal? I know you do a lot of work, but has it really pushed you to that?
Yeah, I would say that experience kind of is what got me exploring the paranormal, for sure. But it also, it kind of made me not want to be a paranormal investigator per se, because I was talking to Annie about this once. Like, I don't need to know that. I already know that part. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't need to prove it. I don't need to be sitting there for however many hours with recorders and this and that and the other thing, because I already know it. And so I actually very much appreciate the efforts that a lot of paranormal investigators put into trying to find answers, and I like to follow people who do that. But I decided that wasn't the right route for me. Instead, after a careful period of examination, you may know that I've been a musician my entire life. I have sung in large choirs. I've been a soloist. I've done piano, saxophone, guitar, bass guitar. Like, I've done everything. And but singing has always been my biggest thing. And one of the things that really came out of this experience was being pulled, and I will say pulled, called to be a threshold singer. Because I'm not afraid of death, and I'm not afraid of speaking about death and all of the topics that are around.
Explain to people what you mean by a threshold singer.
Sure, yeah, a threshold singer.
This is really important.
This is important in my life, and it's really kind of like what I feel is my life's mission and why I am still here. It took me a long time to find it, but it is what it is. I go into hospices with like 2 or 3 other people at a time, and I sit at the bedside, and we sit so that we're at heart level. We bring our own little stools that are like the perfect height to be around the person who's in the bed, and we sing to them on their deathbed. And if their family or their caregivers are in the room, we're singing for them too. And it's our, I sing through an international organization called the Threshold Choir. We have a local chapter here in the Myrtle Beach area called the Long Bay Threshold Singers. And while we are a larger group overall, so there's maybe 10 or 12 of us now, we cover a huge geographical area across the Carolinas on the coast. And it's only 2 or 3 of us, maybe 4 in a room at a time. And so we just kind of coordinate what hospices or what homes or what have you. And we go and we sing heart to heart to the person in the bed and their families and caregivers.
That's amazing. That takes a lot.
I didn't know that I could do it.
Yeah.
But it is really a calling because I can. And I think it has to be a calling for people to be able to do that. Because you see a lot, society here in America particularly, we're very death phobic. We don't like to speak about it. And it's not all bad and tears and awfulness. There are a lot of opportunities during those periods of transition for soul growth, for family growth, for relationships, for healing. And we see it all.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Is there any other things that have come to light more since your experience, besides you finding this,
the calling
for singing and stuff?
I would say I learned to trust myself more. I've learned how to be happy.
Oh, good.
I learned not to be afraid of my intuition. Because I've always been intuitive. I've always been an empath. I've always been a very strong physical intuitive. And also sometimes people come to talk to me. Family members and dreams. Sometimes I have dreams of people I don't know.
Okay.
And that always freaked me out when I was younger, before. But now, after, it doesn't. It's just all part of the natural order of things. And I've just learned to accept it. And in accepting myself, I was able to, I'm now able to live a life that's happier. Because I was always fighting against it when I was young, afraid people would think I was weird. And I was weird.
Yeah.
I was a goth and,
until you get with this group of people, you think that you're
weird.
You're not. You're not. We're like more normal than what we think we are.
Yeah. And intuition is just it's like your other 5 senses.
Yeah.
It really is just, it's part of our makeup. It's just such a natural thing. And in 2018, I saw this local retreat. It was like a 1-day intuition retreat. And I met Kim Chesney of Intuition Lab. And that was life-changing too, because that was when I realized, oh, wait, no, this is just another sense. Like I can see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. And I've been working with her since then. And that's been also very fulfilling.
Yeah.
So a lot of what she said is a lot of what you've said.
Yeah, it is.
So why don't you tell people?
Yeah.
You've actually
I've had two experiences. One, I was electrocuted. And then the other one is I had the blood clot come out of my left leg, go up into my heart and my head.
He had pulmonary embolism.
And was dead on the floor. Went to similar spot like you, but I had I have a friend of mine that was killed in a car accident quite a few years ago. And both times he has met me in that spot and talked to me. The first time he talked to me and said that, it's not your time. You have to go back. And
Lindsay had just been born. She was only a few months old.
Yeah. And so, then I come back out of it, was, in the hospital for a few days and things and off work and things like that. And the second one, I was off for, I don't know, better than a month or so with it. But it took them kind of like you, the misdiagnosis type thing. It happened on Saturday and they didn't find the blood clot until Wednesday.
Oh my gosh.
And they took
five pulmonary embolisms and they didn't find them.
They took and put me in a wheelchair, took me down for a chemical stress test, and sitting in the hallway, I passed out in the hallway, sitting up and stuff and that. So, I mean, it took them a while to find mine too. But what I've really noticed, like you, I'm not afraid of death anymore. It's really changed it. And as a younger person, I would, in my young teens and stuff, when I was real young, was definitely afraid of the dark. Afraid of the dark side, everything and stuff. And it's really changed my, whole outlook on, that. And it's brought, kind of showed me some other things that have showed up and things about being more, being able to tell how people are inside, and can.
So do you think you're a little more intuitive to people?
I guess that's what you want to call it. I'm sorry for the words.
No,
I don't
honey,
know how to do the words,
yeah.
but
It sounds like you're sensitive to their energy. You can read the energy.
Yeah, I am, because
he's become more sensitive.
I mean, there's certain people that you can see in their face that there's, and it's a hard word. It's a harsh word to use, but sometimes I can see people that have no soul.
Yep.
Oh.
And same.
Their whole their face,
Absolutely.
their eyes are dark. Their eyes are dark. Their face is blank.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not. They're functioning and walking around and things, but they're not really there. The other thing that's coming, it's getting a little more prevalent. But it's brought forth that I see what I call shadow people. Sometimes they're really not a real full figure of a person or not. But it also happens with animals and stuff. As an example, the other day we were here and Maisie was in the room and she left and went out. And then the next thing you know, the door opened up and I take it was my dog Max showed up, little black spot, come over by the bed and stuff. And then he turned around, went back out the door and stuff. So, I mean, I've seen those kind of things and I seem to accept things more than I used to. More open to things.
Oh, definitely.
I'm,
some of that might come from being around Andrea too.
There's that. I have a question for you,
Jeff. A lot the last 10 years, Andrea.
Yeah. I have a question, Jeff. Would you say, so you've become more open, meaning you see things and you also accept that these things are real. Yeah. But I'm curious, because you mentioned the seeing people without souls. Do you feel that you've developed more discernment spiritually since that event?
Discernment, you said?
Yeah. Like, you mentioned that, you see if people are, soulless or whatever. So I'm wondering how that affects how you decide to interact with whatever you're confronting.
I can really feel how they are. I really see it in their faces and I see it in their actions. If you pay attention to the person that's talking to you and how they speak to you, how they act around you, whether they make eye contact with you, and all those kind of things, you can tell what kind of person is, or even if they want to be standing there talking to you. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I see a lot more of that I never had seen before. And sometimes I just read the person and I'll just, say hi and walk away if I have to talk to them. I keep it short to the point and things like that.
Because that's one thing that changed for me too. I always had good gut instincts, but I never listened to them in the past. And then since now, since after, I feel like I just immediately can hone in on that. And it's like instant decision made about somebody and whether I'm going to have anything to do with them or get myself out of a situation, that kind of thing.
But it also has made me, like I said, more accepting to people and different things. So it's really, changed a lot for me. So.
It was funny because when you said that you were ticked off, so I was not present for the first when he electrocuted himself. He did that at work, but
jeez,
but the pulmonary embolisms happened here at home.
Yeah,
and I had to keep him alive until they got here. But luckily, we're close by and the paramedic. They were here so fast. But I got mad at him because I'm like, you're not going to die on me. You're not leaving me here with these 2 kids. You're not. So I went to the clinical part of my brain because I'm an MA. I'm a medical assistant. So I knew what I needed to do for him. And I just went to that part of my brain.
Right.
And didn't think about
took the emotional part out of it.
Took the emotional part right out of it. But afterwards, after he was out of the hospital, I could tell he was mad at me. And so I finally said to him, you can be mad at me. It's okay. It's okay. Cause I did. Well, you should say what Jim told you.
Yeah. Well, like you see it, it's a beautiful place, it's really, but I didn't see a lot of things like you did with the buildings and the other things like that. It was more of this kind of like the sky and the, clouds and things like that, more than that. And then my friend, Jim, and I don't understand why it's always been Jim that's come to me, but he was my best friend. And there was 4 of us that grew up from elementary school all the way up, through high school and stuff and things. And he was the first one to go of us out of the group. But he basically told me, he says, you fulfilled what you needed to fulfill, and it's your choice now. If you want to stay.
Oh, wow.
And
so is that why you were ticked at Lynn?
Yeah.
He was mad.
Because she was pushing so hard because, I was comfortable. I was happy.
There's no pain there.
I wasn't happy in my life at home. It had nothing to do with not being happy with my life at home. It just was such a comfort and such a peaceful type of thing that, who wouldn't want to, be there.
I mean, for me, there was no pain there because I was in great amounts of physical pain. I had pain in my ankle from being broken. I had pain in my leg, pain in my lungs.
Yeah,
emotional pain.
Yeah, emotional. Yeah, that's big.
I mean, when the pulmonary embolism hit, I was standing next to the door and I just got dizzy and I went to the ground and that was it.
Yeah.
And I remember parts of being like in the emergency room, being above my body in the emergency room, seeing people there, hearing people, but not being able to respond to them.
Same.
I know that they were using a sensitivity spike, as all I'm going to say, and they're pushing on your feet, pricking you to see if you react to them and stuff like that. And,
wow.
And things, but I didn't move or do any of that, type of thing. But so it changed a lot for me.
Do you remember anything while at home, or did you not have any sense of your body until you got to the ER?
I had sense of me in the ambulance going to the hospital, and then it kind of even before we got to the hospital, it was blank. It was dark. It was just nothing there until we got into the emergency room and stuff.
Because there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I always wondered
I mean,
if, like, you heard me yelling at you, doing the cardiac thumps, doing the CPR, so you don't remember any of that.
At that point, after I got dizzy and went to the floor, I don't really remember anything until it was in the ambulance on the way to the hospital.
Yeah. For me, it was sort of this long, prolonged suffocating thing.
Yeah.
Because they just kept having me doing things, and it was just got to be too much. And if you've ever like gone swimming and like gone underwater, you take a big breath and you hold your breath, and then your lungs start to burn, and then they really start to hurt, and you know I've got to get up. It was like that for me.
No, mine hit me and more just I got dizzy and then it just blacked out. I just blacked out. It was that way. Now the first near death, because I was electrocuted, that was a lot of pain and everything going through all that until I got broke free from the electricity. And at that point I was not there anyways,
Yeah. And that's
when I went and saw.
That's when you saw Jim.
Yeah,
the
went
first
to the place
time.
and saw Jim the first place.
So you've been there twice.
So yeah.
Wow.
But
I see a question in the chat that makes me want to ask Jeff a question, because I've had this question in my mind as Jeff's been talking. And the question in the chat was, do either of you feel like you're not supposed to be here after your near-death experience? And I'm curious, Jeff, did you have a period of transition? And of course, you've had two of them, right? Did you have a period of transition between, you had the near-death experience, you're up there hanging out with Jim, and then you're back here. Was there anything weird about being back here for a while?
No, other than me being mad. And then once Lyn and I talked it over and went through all that, no. I do sometimes feel I'm supposed to be somewhere else, but it's not anything that was a continual thing or anything I had to work through. It just was a feeling that came on and stuff like that, but it really, was not something I had to work through or anything.
Okay. So. Well, for me, Candace, to answer your question, not necessarily that I wasn't supposed to be here. I knew that I had a reason for still being here. I must. Like, that was the logical thought process that was going on in my head. Like, I must have a reason for being here because it was very clear I wasn't supposed to be there for much longer than I was, right?
Right.
But I didn't understand it. And my period of transition from dying to where I am today was really extensive. I went to counseling. I had a marriage bust up. And we're still friends. I mean, it was just, this kind of thing causes you to reevaluate everything. So for me, there was a huge transition where I didn't know why I was here. And Lyn, I'm not talking about y'all's marriage. I saw you look at him.
No, the only thing, once I said to him, it's okay if you're angry with me.
Yeah, and that's a great response.
And once we talked about it, and I let him know it was okay to tell me that. Yeah. We got past that.
Yeah. My second husband and I, we didn't, but that's okay. We weren't meant to be, and we ended things amicably because it just, I was going through so much. I couldn't walk. I could barely breathe. I mean, my physical recovery was lengthy. The emotional and mental recovery took even longer. But I will say that the nice turnabout was that it really caused me to change my life for the better.
Yeah.
But I did. I saw all the tools in my tool, kit. I saw a counselor who was also a shaman, so he did a soul retrieval. Because I will say this, I felt like something was missing from me.
Okay.
And he was able to help me identify how to get that back, how to find me again. And I feel more me now that I hadn't felt since I was a kid. If that makes sense. So really, the thing is that the entire time leading up to the near-death experience from, say, college on, I didn't know why I was here. And then near-death experience happened, period of transition, now I do.
Yeah.
And now you're knocking it out of the park. You're doing really brave things like traveling on your own. I I could never do that. I could never do that.
Yeah, and the people who love me worry about me, but I turn on location services. They always know where I am.
Yeah.
We are always in touch.
I mean, I think I really feel that it was more of a transition for me, making me change or having me change is more how I would look at it. My point of view of having it happen, and then what I've done afterwards is a change. For me, life-changing event and stuff. And I just to be part of it, I had complete confirmation of everything the first time I had Brian Danhausen.
He's incredible.
Do a reading on me.
I've got my Brian painting back there.
we have a collection.
I have a collection of paintings from various intuitives over there.
He told me all about that person that's watching over me and that's always there,
He described Jim was right in the painting too.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Painted that right in there.
And we never met Brian. That was before we knew him.
And we didn't even know Brian at that time, but actually, and then the second time we did one, he was right on everything that he talked about and showed us in the paintings and everything. It's just very remarkable how he is to be able to tell you about it and then explain it to you and everything and stuff. So, I mean, that was just a more confirmation for me, and it just helped me secure that, there's no need to be afraid of that and everything. So, but like I said, I don't understand why it was my friend, but I'm glad it happened.
Well, I have a theory.
What's your theory?
I think Jim's a guide now.
Probably.
He is.
Jim was such a cool guy. Very great husband, great dad, great person in general. So yeah, I could see.
He's his best friend. I mean, of course he still loves him. I mean, what have we learned all these years together that we've known each other, right? Love is ubiquitous. Love never ends. The universe runs on love.
Yep.
So it's not surprising to me that a friend who loves you met you on the other side twice.
Yep.
Twice. That's the part that was like. You'd think maybe, I mean, I've always thought, well, maybe it would have been a grandparent or maybe, my parents or, something like that, but it wasn't. And, so. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I just say it was an angel. I mean, because I don't have a name. I don't know who they were.
But that's okay too.
But it just felt very much like angelic presence. I mean, this voice telling me what to say to the doctors in the ER, like literally I'm just a mouthpiece for celestial, messaging saying, this is, you're gonna, and I kept being told, you're gonna be okay. Like it, I was told, walk slowly, no big breaths, no fast movements, take everything slow and gentle. You're going to be okay. It was like having a cheerleader constantly in my ear.
And that's a good thing to have.
Yeah. That's how I take him telling me that I had done what I needed to do and that it was my choice. He said, but it's okay.
But I wasn't done.
It's okay.
You weren't done, Lyn.
Yeah, he put it as it's your choice and it's okay if you don't stay. He says it is perfectly okay. So I mean, it was the whole thing, and it just maybe it was somebody else, but they portrayed as my friend.
What's
your gut say?
What do you think?
I really think it's probably was him.
There you go.
I really do.
Because I will say this, like soul energy doesn't lie.
Mm-hmm.
In my experience, soul energy, it's just like you were saying, like you could see soul energy in living human beings right now on this side. On the other side, there's none of that. Not in that place.
Yeah.
At least that's a place of higher dimension, higher love.
Right. Right.
Unconditional love.
Yeah. And not that I'm a tracker or anything like that, but I mean I have some of the people that I have noticed that were really the darkest, I've kept kind of track on how their lives have went and stuff, and it's not been a good road for them.
Yeah, and that's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
So
That's really unfortunate because there are always choices here. We're here to have a human experience.
Right. And this is a very human experience. And I like you said, we're so afraid of death in the West.
Death is part of the human experience.
And it is. I mean, even Andrea's own mother had 2 near-death experiences. Her one sister did also. And so we've, had a lot of conversations about that, but I'm at the place, my father is at the end. And, we're dealing with that. And I don't want to be scared this time. I want this to be a little bit of a better experience for him too. He doesn't seem to be afraid, but I want to load my toolbox up with a little bit more to get through this part.
Well, I'm always here for you.
Oh, I know that. I let me tell you, so many good people have come into our lives through the paranormal and through working with Andrea, and I can't say thank you enough, because Andrea came into my life when my mom had died and I hadn't left the house for months. And I started just doing online things for her, and then I started to actually leave the house and travel. That was a huge, major, major step. And I don't think I could have done it without the most wonderful people in the world. Especially here in Michigan, we have, man.
I wish I could bilocate to Michigan or have a transporter. I love coming there and being with all of you.
Because
all of my Michigan peeps.
I'm looking at all my friends in chat, and it's like, I love all you guys. And Candace, by the way, you're supposed to still be here, so stop it.
Sorry, I'm missing a lot of the comments flying by, but I hope to get to them later.
I'm really interested in this. But we have just, I don't know what it is. It keeps bringing Andrea back to Michigan.
There's just something about it, and the people there are stellar. And you guys mentioned about like how I travel alone, and that is something I never would have done when I was younger, before. But I will say that I am blessed to have good friends to meet up with. Like you you met me at the airport, you rode with me in my rental car up to Houghton Lake, and we had a great girl party, and and that's all because of Annie. I've met you guys through her.
Yeah.
And that's Jeff and I had some great conversations there. Yeah. Talked about Bigfoot.
Yep. And Bigfoot's my other cryptid that I like.
Yeah.
So
I told Lynn, if you ever come down to see the Mothman, I'll drive up.
I've spent enough time outside in the woods and places that some people never get to see, that I know that there's somewhere there is something. You know what I mean? The possibility is there, and it's just,
I am very open-minded about it. It all kind of started as a joke for me. If we could briefly diverge to Bigfoot, I mean, we have to address.
Let's go to Bigfoot. I love
Let's
Bigfoot.
Briefly diverge, yes. When I was a little girl,
keep this light and fun tonight.
Yeah. Well, here's a light and fun story. You guys are going to love this one. So, when I was a very little girl, so I lived in one town in Connecticut. My grandparents lived in another town, and it was about like a 25-30-minute drive, if I recall, through kind of wooded areas. It ran along the roads ran along a big piece of property that was owned by a local reservoir company, like a water company. And it was just, kind of boring for a little kid to be sitting in a car that long, and are we there yet? Are we there? So my dad, being brilliant, said, okay, Beth, and here's what I want you to do. I want you to look out the window, and I want you to let me know if you see Bigfoot. And he explained what Bigfoot was, And my little face was plastered to that window at like 4 years old or however old I was. the whole 30 minutes looking for Bigfoot. And it just kind of became a thing. And now it's a fun dad and daughter thing. We go on little mini adventures to cryptid conferences and see all my buddies there. And we have a good time. And it all started with that cute little story.
Yeah. Jeff usually finds the Bigfoot people at the conventions and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're right next to them.
I've edited a lot of books about Bigfoot.
Yep.
I was going to say, and plus you've edited a lot of Bigfoot books now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have like about 8 more minutes.
Okay.
Was there something that you wanted to share that we haven't touched on yet?
I'm trying to think. Like, I feel like we did everything at a high level, which is really all you can do in a, 45, 50 minutes.
I know.
But I guess I just really want to encourage everybody to not be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And to not be afraid to live your life now while you're here, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that we are our own worst enemies sometimes. We put up a lot of barriers in front of ourselves, sort of as protective defense mechanisms. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that really came through to me from my time there was that love. I mean, and Annie says, like, love is the answer. Like, love is the thing. Mm-hmm. I try to lead with love. And what I mean by that is all of these human emotions that we have are all directly related to love. Like fear, anxiety, anger, they all can be countered by love. And so even if you're mad at somebody, even if somebody's treating you badly, even with all of the crap that goes on in the world, whatever the situation is, remember that you are loved and that you are love. Mm-hmm. Those were the two things that came through very strongly to me. And they're what really get me through rough times.
Yeah. I've not, not had your experiences, but what has come to me through this community is, like you said, you're always here for me. I know I can always reach out to somebody. And I'm not going to have to explain myself a ton. They're going to understand what I'm saying to them. Yeah. That's what I absolutely love about all of the weirdos in my life. Because I don't have to explain a whole lot, and they get it. And I've appreciated that from you, and pretty much everybody that I've become friends with.
I love the fact that you called me once I had 1 bar of signal after having no signal. I'm standing in the middle of a mountain in New York State.
I know.
At the moment I got to where that bar of signal is, you called and I answered, and I'm so glad that we have that.
I know. See, that's just it.
Because I know I can do the same with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And anybody, my messenger is always on. So I really am here. I really am. I do what I do so Andrea can do what she does. Andrea needs to focus on the people and not on, do I need to order books? Do I need to, getting from here to there? She just needs to be with the people.
Yeah.
And so that's why we do, that's why he hauls around the two of us.
As I say to everybody, it's driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then it's even better when we've got Greta with us.
Yeah.
Hey, Greta the Great.
Greta the Great, man. She's, I don't know, man. I do not know what I would do without Greta the Great. I don't. She's remarkable. As are so many people in this field. So many people in this chat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I keep saying, I want to read all the comments, and I'm sorry I haven't, but I love, Candace, Weirdos Unite, rock on, girl.
That's my mantra. Rhonda Hart made me a great meme that says Weirdos Unite, and I use it all the time.
Nice. Terry, love to you too.
Yeah, we love Terry. Oh my gosh. And Jonathan. Yes, Jonathan, you are weird.
Jonathan, I hope we can meet someday.
Yes.
I haven't met you yet.
Jonathan's like, come out here to New England. I'm like, no, you come to Michigan, dude, because
dude, come to Michigan.
We're having a great time in Michigan.
We sure are. Jonathan, I'm from New England. Next time I come up there, maybe I'll let you know.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know.
Jeff, any parting words for?
Yeah.
No, just, you really don't know what your purpose is until it comes up and smacks you in the face. I guess it's the easy way for me to say it,
Mm-hmm.
or where you're going to go and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and so.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sorry.
and for everybody that's watching, our little one here is sitting on our lap. She
Maisie.
was starting to growl and bark, so we've had her laying across both our laps here, and she was, being quiet about it. But that's.
I can't help it. She's so soft and cuddly that
I can't wait to see her in September.
I know. She gets to go, and she'll be at Houghton Lake, and then she can come to Potographs to
Nice.
Murray's Legacy. Potographs in March is going to be at the same hotel as UFO Contact.
Nice.
So, yep, we'll have a great time there. I love UFO Contact because it's just, that one's a chill convention, and we all just hang out and catch up and have a good time.
I fly in from North Carolina. I mean, it's worth that trip for me to go. It's such a great,
isn't it?
A great vibe there. Yeah.
I love it there. Love it there. Weird stuff happens.
Yes, it does.
Just going to warn anybody that's not ever been to that event. Weird stuff does happen.
Yeah.
But, and I have to pass on to Andrea is so appreciative of everybody's comments and well wishes. She's just a bit overwhelmed and needs some quiet. And but she'll be back, and she'll be back soon. She'll know when it's time. Right, Maisie?
Well, we'll just give her all the time she needs.
Yes, and that's what we're doing. And that's what we're
the
doing.
love.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we're just gonna surround her in love, like she's surrounded us all this time. And yeah, it's not easy. Anybody that's lost their mother can tell you it's not easy. So, I'm surprised Bill hasn't.
Yeah.
Maybe I do better than Annie on time because she always gets yelled at. Bill's not on there yelling at me yet.
Well, guys, I want to say I am very grateful to you for having me on tonight. I really appreciate it. It was just so fun. Jeff, it's nice to talk to you about this stuff since we have this in common too.
Yeah.
You guys have a lot in common.
I know.
You're going to have some good talks in September.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that, that I've met that have it in common, and,
apparently it's not that uncommon a thing to happen for people.
No.
And they all follow a very similar thing.
I don't think we talk about it enough.
People, some people have it happen and it doesn't.
Yeah, time to wrap.
Yep, just saw that.
Okay.
Yeah, some people have it happen, but they're afraid to talk about it. They're afraid to open up about it and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, part of me being mad was holding it inside until Lyn,
Yep.
and I worked it out. So I mean, it just is, a good experience.
But like Bill said, we are taking a break next week because it's the 4th of July. So everybody have a wonderful 4th. We won't have a live show. And then who knows, 2 weeks from tonight, what we'll be doing. So just watch the space. We'll be back with something, try and get some different shows going and do some fun stuff too. So give Andrea a break.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you guys so much.
And thank you for coming. Thank everybody for watching.
Yeah, thank you everybody for watching.
I don't even know how to stop this.
She was.
Maisie, say bye.